There's a limit to what God will let people get away with, and some of them are one step away from learning that the hard way. That's the truth that hangs over every chosen one's life like a quiet warning most people never hear. But you feel it. You've seen it play out over and over again. People pushing you, provoking you, plotting behind closed doors like your destiny is something they can rearrange. What they don't know is that the moment they target you, they sign up for consequences they are absolutely not built for. Research even shows that people who believe they can control others often underestimate the spiritual, emotional, and even practical backlash that follows. And when it comes to a chosen one, that backlash doesn't just knock, it breaks the door off the hinges. The funny thing is, many of these people act like they're starring in a movie you didn't audition for. They create drama you never ordered, rehearse speeches no one asked for, and behave as if your downfall is the plot twist they're working on. Meanwhile, God is in the background looking at them like, "You sure about this? You really want to go down this road?" Because the truth is, heaven doesn't negotiate when it comes to a chosen one's purpose. There is no spiritual plea deal. No, let's talk about it. No, maybe they didn't mean it. Once they cross that line, the only thing left is fallout. And here's what makes it even more intense. You are the last person they should play games with. Not because you're confrontational, not at all, but because your entire life is spiritually wired. Your growth threatens their stagnation. Your resilience exposes their insecurity. Your destiny disrupts the darkness they're comfortable living in. And every time they try to sabotage you, they accidentally activate the very protection they think you don't have. But the real suspense is this: they think they're winning. They think their schemes are working. They think you're unaware. Meanwhile, heaven is quietly rearranging the battlefield in your favor, setting up consequences tailored specifically for the people who believed harming you would come with no price tag. So buckle in, because what they're attempting to do to you, God is about to flip it in a way that not only protects you, but teaches them a lesson they'll never forget. Their intentions may be dark, but your destiny isn't negotiable. And by the time this is over, they'll understand something they should have known from the start. You're not just chosen, you're covered. Number one, they misread your calm as powerlessness. People who come after you always misunderstand the one thing that makes you spiritually untouchable: your calm. They're so used to dealing with loud, reactive, insecure people that when they meet someone who doesn't panic, doesn't argue, and doesn't fight back immediately, they assume you're weak. They assume you don't see what they're doing. They assume you don't know how to defend yourself. What they don't realize is that your calm is not a lack of awareness. It's a warning. It's a sign that you have absolutely nothing to prove and nothing to fear. Calm is what a person carries when they know the outcome is already settled long before the battle even begins. And here's where their mistake becomes dangerous. They interpret your stillness as an invitation to push boundaries. They take your peace and try to disrupt it. They take your patience and try to drain it. They take your lack of reaction and try to weaponize it. But calm is not the absence of power. It's the sign of someone who has already been backed by something greater. Your calm is your evidence that you are spiritually protected. And the moment they try to take advantage of that, they walk into consequences they cannot dodge. Your calm makes people uncomfortable because it removes their control. They can't read someone who doesn't react. They can't manipulate someone who doesn't engage. They can't intimidate someone who doesn't flinch. You don't feed their ego, their drama, or their insecurities. And that drives them into deeper levels of desperation. They start doing reckless things because they want to provoke a reaction. But desperation always exposes the truth. They needed your chaos to feel confident, and when you refused to give it, they lost their strategy. This is why their schemes always collapse. They build their attacks on the assumption that you're powerless. But God uses your calm as the proof that the battle isn't yours. So while they think you're not fighting back, the real fight is already happening in the realm they can't see, and the outcome never lands in their favor. Your calm is not your weakness. It's the evidence that their downfall already started the moment they misread who they were dealing with. Number 2, they're fighting someone who already survived what was designed to destroy them. People targeting you have no idea what they're stepping into. They look at you today, the way you move, the way you handle pressure, the way you stay steady, and they think you're someone they can break. They think they're the first ones to challenge you, the first ones to test you, the first ones to put weight on your shoulders. They don't know your history. They don't know the battles that tried to take you out long before they ever showed up. They don't realize they're coming after someone who has already survived storms that were meant to end your entire story. You didn't just live through those seasons. You learned from them, you toughened through them, and you came out with a kind of strength most people never master. That's why their attacks don't have the effect they expect. You're not fragile. You're not shaken easily. You've already had chapters in your life where quitting looked easier than breathing, but you still kept going. What they think is weakness is actually wisdom. What they think is fear is actually restraint. What they think is vulnerability is actually victory that just doesn't need to shout. They're coming into the ring late, not realizing you've been in battles far more intense than this. And you didn't just survive, you adapted. The real truth is this: you're dangerous to them without even trying to be. A person who has survived destruction is someone who cannot be manipulated, intimidated, or spiritually cornered. You've seen worse. You've endured worse. And because of that, their strategies fall flat. Their attempts to scare you don't work because fear doesn't live in you the way it lives in them. Their efforts to overwhelm you don't work because you already know how to operate under pressure. They're trying to harm someone who has already mastered the art of rebuilding themselves, and this is where things shift. When they realize they can't break you, they panic. They don't understand why their tactics fail. They don't understand why you recover so quickly. They don't realize that God didn't keep you alive for nothing. You survived what was designed to destroy you, which means anything they're planning has already lost before it starts. Number 3, your destiny is contracted. Touching you breaks a spiritual agreement. People who try to interfere with your life always underestimate something crucial. Your destiny is not random, it's contracted. Before you ever showed up on this planet, there were assignments, protections, and divine instructions attached to your name. You're not just living a life. You're carrying out a purpose that was agreed on in the spiritual realm long before anyone decided to envy you or target you. So when someone comes against you, they're not simply messing with a human being. They're attempting to violate a spiritual agreement they were never invited into. And the moment they cross that line, they activate consequences that are bigger than anything they could have imagined. The reason God reacts so strongly on your behalf is not because you need rescuing, it's because your purpose cannot be tampered with. There are destinies that affect one person, destinies that affect a family, and then there are destinies like yours, destinies that stretch across generations, environments, and divine timing. When someone tries to derail you, heaven doesn't take it lightly. They're not just interfering with your feelings, your confidence, or your progress. They're interfering with something that has ripple effects far beyond them. That's why judgment hits them so fast and so precisely. They tried to rewrite something that wasn't theirs to touch. This is also why certain people fall apart after targeting you. Their relationships break. Their opportunities dry up, their peace disappears, their stability crumbles. and they never understand why. It's not because you cursed them or did anything in return. It's because they stepped into a conflict with a divine contract that automatically enforces itself. The spiritual realm has laws, and when someone violates a law tied to your destiny, the correction comes with force. What makes this even more ironic is that most of them think their actions are harmless. They think they're just gossiping, undermining, manipulating, or sabotaging. But to heaven, it's interference, it's contamination, it's obstruction, and every obstruction to a chosen one's path becomes a target for removal. That's why you stay protected, even when you feel alone. Your destiny is backed, your purpose is sealed, and no one gets away with touching what God already signed off on. Number 4, their obsession with you is not normal. It's a sign of their spiritual weakness. When someone becomes strangely fixated on a chosen one, it's never about you personally. It's about what your presence triggers in them. Your energy exposes what they've been hiding from themselves for years. Your confidence highlights their insecurity. Your strength reveals their instability. Your growth magnifies their stagnation. And because they don't have the courage or the maturity to confront those parts of themselves, they project all that discomfort onto you. Their obsession isn't admiration gone wrong. It's a spiritual weakness rising to the surface, screaming for attention. This is why some people watch you harder than they watch their own life. They keep tabs on your moves. They analyze your behavior. They speculate about your intentions. They create stories in their head about you. They stalk your progress like it's their personal assignment. The truth is, they're not trying to understand you. They're trying to figure out why they feel so small in your presence. Something about you disrupts the identity they've crafted. Something about you makes their pretending feel extra fake. And instead of working on themselves, they make you their emotional target. Here's the part they would never admit. They're intimidated. Not by what you have, but by who you are when nobody's watching. Your internal strength shakes them. Your authenticity confronts their illusions. Your light shines on their shadows. And because their spirit isn't built to handle truth, they react in unhealthy ways. Envy, gossip, competition, subtle attacks, fake friendliness, or straight-up hostility. Their obsession grows because they can't control you. They can't manipulate you into being insecure like them. They can't drag you into their emotional mess. They can't make you shrink to make them comfortable. And that loss of power pulls them deeper into fixation mode. But here's the twist. Their obsession doesn't weaken you. It exposes them. Every weird reaction, every attempt to undermine you, every secret plot, every envious outburst is a reflection of their spiritual condition. The more they obsess over you, the more they reveal how unstable, insecure, and spiritually malnourished they truly are. Their fixation is their confession. They think they're watching you, but in reality, they're exposing themselves one action at a time. Number 5. They don't know that you're the last person. Grace warns before judgment moves. Most people have no idea that when they target a chosen one, they're dealing with someone who exists on a higher spiritual radar. God gives warnings, sometimes subtle, sometimes unmistakable, but you are often the last person to receive those warnings before judgment is set in motion. Your enemies think they have time, that they can plot, manipulate, or sabotage without consequence. They assume that whatever they're doing is invisible, or that heaven hasn't noticed. But that's exactly the trap they step into. By the time they realize the error of their ways, the correction is already in motion, and grace has already stretched its hand as far as it can go. After that, it's no longer about negotiation or mercy. It's about enforcement. Grace isn't a buffer that lets people toy with you indefinitely. It's a shield that protects the chosen one until it's time for the natural consequences of someone's actions to manifest. When someone crosses you repeatedly, when their schemes escalate and their attacks intensify, it isn't just chance or coincidence, it's evidence that the warnings have been given. You've stayed upright, patient, and composed while heaven monitored everything. And now, for those who refuse to listen or change, judgment is no longer hypothetical, it's inevitable. This is why people who target you often experience a mysterious and sudden unraveling. Doors they counted on close unexpectedly, relationships collapse without warning, opportunities vanish, things that seemed secure suddenly slip through their hands. It isn't luck, it isn't karma in the casual sense. It's the direct result of crossing someone under divine favor who has already been strategically protected. Their actions against you have activated responses far beyond their comprehension, and those responses will always align with the law of divine justice. You carry a presence that is calibrated to reflect the boundary between God's patience and His correction. They are not just attacking a person, they are attacking someone whose grace has been measured carefully and whose protection has a final point. Crossing that threshold triggers consequences they never saw coming, and by the time it happens, their disbelief only magnifies their downfall. They thought they were untouchable, but they were only playing with the last warning before judgment steps in, and for them, there is no undo button. Number 6, your spirit carries a mirror. Their attacks only reveal their own fate. People who come after you never understand that their actions don't expose you, they expose themselves. Every attack they launch reflects something about their own character, intentions, and spiritual condition. Your presence acts like a mirror, not because you're trying to reveal anything, but because chosen ones naturally carry truth. And whenever someone with hidden motives tries to harm a person aligned with truth, their real identity leaks out unintentionally. They reveal who they are without you ever having to say a word. This is why their behavior becomes more erratic the longer they target you. At first, they take small jabs. Then their envy grows. Then the jealousy becomes loud. Then the lies start coming out, and eventually, their actions become so obvious that even people who never paid attention start to notice. They think they're being strategic, but the entire time they're building a public record against themselves. Their actions stop being private offenses and start becoming confessions. They try to hide behind manipulation and appearances, but targeting a chosen one forces everything that was buried to rise to the surface. The irony is, most of them believe they're exposing something about you, your supposed flaws, your past, your weaknesses, or your decisions. But nothing about you gets revealed. Instead, their insecurity, malice, envy, and darkness become undeniable. They create their own downfall by revealing their intentions in ways they never planned. Your spirit doesn't fight them, it simply reflects them. And what they see in that reflection is what terrifies them the most, the truth about themselves. This is why God allows certain people to expose themselves slowly. It's not for your humiliation, it's for their correction. When they continue to attack you even after seeing their own behavior spiral, the spiritual realm treats it as a declaration. Their fate becomes sealed not by what they did to you, but by what they revealed about themselves through their actions. They thought they were attacking someone unprotected, but all they did was uncover their own spiritual sentence. Their downfall begins the moment your presence reveals what they've been hiding from everyone, including themselves. Number 7. They underestimate the weight of your name in the spiritual realm. Most of the people who try to attack you have no idea who they're dealing with, not in a physical sense, but in a spiritual one. Your name carries weight, and not because of status, money, or popularity. It carries weight because heaven recognizes you. Your name is attached to assignments, breakthroughs, blessings, and generational shifts. When your name is spoken in the spiritual realm, it commands attention. Angels move, protection activates, pathways open or close depending on what is needed. So when someone casually speaks against you, plots against you, or tries to bring harm to you, they're unknowingly stepping into territory where your name holds authority they can't compete with. This is why their plans rarely land the way they expect. They think everything they're doing is happening in the dark, unseen and unnoticed. But the truth is, your name is not one that can be tampered with without consequence. Every scheme that carries your name in it triggers a response from the spiritual realm. It doesn't matter whether they whisper it, text it, or plot it in silence. Your name carries divine surveillance. Heaven does not take lightly any attack that has your name attached to it. Their biggest mistake is assuming you're regular. They think you're someone without backing, without covering, without identity. They don't understand that the spiritual realm knows exactly who you are, even during the seasons when you doubt yourself, even in the moments you feel small, even when you're still learning your purpose. Your name has already been established long before you grew into what you carry now. And people who attempt to bring you down are fighting something they can't overpower, outsmart, or outrun. And this is where their downfall begins. When they use your name with the wrong intentions, the spiritual realm treats it as a violation. They announce themselves as an adversary, and adversaries of a chosen one always end up facing consequences bigger than their actions. They didn't just attack you. They attacked the divine identity tied to your name. And once your name is involved, heaven steps in with a precision that can't be negotiated. Number 8. They mistake your forgiveness for permission. One of the deadliest mistakes people make when they target a chosen one is assuming that forgiveness equals weakness or approval. They see you letting things slide, see you not lashing out, see you moving forward without carrying grudges, and they convince themselves that this means they can continue. They don't understand that forgiveness is a conscious choice to stay clean, to preserve your energy, and to let God handle the dirt. It is not a license for someone to keep stepping on you. The moment someone treats your forgiveness as permission, they activate a spiritual truth they will regret. What is forgiven in your heart doesn't go unnoticed in the realm that governs destiny. Forgiveness is your way of staying untainted, but it is also a setup for divine correction. People often underestimate what happens when someone crosses a chosen one repeatedly. Heaven doesn't respond to anger, it responds to injustice and violation. When someone pushes the limits after you've already forgiven, it stops being a matter between human beings and becomes a matter between the violator and divine law. Their actions are documented spiritually. Their intentions, motives, and persistence are all registered. And once they hit that threshold, consequences are not only unavoidable, they are precise, unavoidable, and often irreversible. The irony is that those who think they are testing your patience actually reveal their own fate. Every time they push too far, they strengthen the case against themselves. They think you're unaware of their schemes, but your calm forgiveness is a reflection of your awareness and control. They assume you're harmless in their eyes, but forgiveness is not about being passive. It's about positioning yourself above the fray while the spiritual realm catches up with their recklessness. By the time they realize they've misread you, it's too late. What they thought was mercy is actually a shield, and what they mistook for weakness is actually the trigger that signals a divine response. Forgiveness is not permission, it is protection, and every repeated offense against it only accelerates the very judgment they were hoping to avoid. Those who fail to understand this end up facing outcomes they cannot control, and their mistake is thinking they can manipulate someone who has been appointed and covered from the highest level. Number 9. Your existence interrupts their darkness, so they want you gone. There's a reason some people become obsessed with taking a chosen one down. And it isn't personal, it's existential. Your very presence disrupts the comfort zones they've built around their darkness. They've lived in deception, manipulation, laziness, fear, and lies for years, carefully creating a world where they can feel secure without confronting themselves. Then you appear, calm, purposeful, and unstoppable, and suddenly all the cracks in their facade become impossible to ignore. Your life shines a light on everything they refuse to fix, everything they try to hide, and everything they are secretly afraid of facing. That light terrifies them more than any words could ever convey. When people attack you, it's because they don't just want to silence your voice. They want to erase the example you set. Your courage, clarity, and authenticity expose their mediocrity. Your growth exposes their stagnation. Your focus exposes their chaos. And worst of all for them, your progress proves that what they've been avoiding isn't just visible, it's correctable, and you're proof that someone can do it. That exposure makes them desperate. They don't just want to harm you, they want to erase the reflection of what they could have been if they had chosen differently. This is why their attacks are so persistent and sometimes inexplicably vicious. They are not just fighting you. They are fighting against the truth you represent. They try to manipulate, sabotage, intimidate, or gaslight you, hoping that if they can remove you, they can return to their illusion of safety. But what they fail to realize is that your existence cannot be erased. Your purpose cannot be nullified. The disruption you cause in their darkness is part of your destiny, and it is protected. Every attempt to remove you ends up exposing them further. Their fear, envy, and desperation become visible for the world to see. They think they're attacking you, but they are really exposing themselves. And while they crumble under the weight of their own darkness, you continue moving forward, untouched, unhindered, and fully aligned with what God put you on this earth to do. The very fact that they want you gone is proof that your life is too significant to ignore. Number 10. They are trying to rewrite a story that was already published in heaven. The people who target a chosen one never stop to realize that they are attempting the impossible. They think they can control outcomes, bend circumstances, and alter trajectories, but your story was written long before anyone knew your name. Heaven doesn't scribble in pencil, it writes in ink. Your path, your breakthroughs, your victories, and even your challenges were all documented, approved, and secured long before someone decided to interfere. Every attack they launch, every plot they concoct, every effort to derail you, is an attempt to rewrite something that was already set in stone. And the universe has a way of responding to those kinds of violations. When people try to manipulate a chosen one's life, they are essentially walking into a battle they cannot win. Their interference triggers mechanisms they cannot see. Events, coincidences, and reversals that restore balance faster than they realize. They are fighting a blueprint, and no human plan can override divine planning. Their schemes don't just fail, they often backfire in ways that expose their intentions and deepen their own losses. Heaven doesn't need your help to protect you. It only needs to let natural consequences unfold against those who think they can rewrite a divine narrative. What's even more dangerous for them is that their attempts often accelerate your destiny. Every attack, every betrayal, every ounce of malice directed toward you activates a response that pushes you closer to fulfillment. Their efforts to stop your rise only spotlight the areas where you are protected, the doors that are opening for you, and the power you've carried through seasons they never survived. They try to be the author of your story, but all they accomplish is becoming a footnote in it, a cautionary tale for anyone who thinks they can interfere with someone anointed. The tragic irony is that they don't realize they are not just failing, they are serving your purpose. By attempting to rewrite a story that was already published in heaven, they revealed the futility of resisting divine design. Every plan they make to harm you only proves that your path is inevitable, your protection is absolute, and your destiny is untouchable. They are not the writers, they are the warnings. Number 11. They underestimated the weight of your silence. One thing about a chosen one's silence is that it's never empty. People assume that when you're quiet, you're weak, confused, or unsure of yourself. They think your lack of reaction means you're not paying attention or that you don't understand what's happening. But your silence is never a sign of ignorance. It's a warning. It's the calm that settles before a shift. It's the moment where your spirit gathers strength, while their own noise exposes everything they tried to hide. Your silence carries weight, and the people who underestimated it always learn the hard way. When a chosen one stays silent, it isn't because they're clueless. It's because they're calculating, observing, and allowing truth to eventually walk into the room without force. You don't need to shout, argue, or fight to be proven right. Your existence alone rearranges energy. Those who targeted you expected you to panic, react, or defend yourself endlessly. But instead, you became still. You disappointed every trap they set by refusing to respond on their timeline. And that stillness broke their confidence. Silence from someone protected isn't passive. It's powerful. It exposes liars, reveals intentions, and forces people to confront their own actions without you lifting a finger. Your silence created a pressure they weren't ready for. While they were trying to create a narrative, the lack of your reaction made them frantic. They needed your outrage to justify their behavior. They needed your weakness to feel strong. They needed a response to continue the chaos. When they didn't get one, their own actions echoed louder than anything you could have said. And eventually, the truth rose to the surface with no help from you. That's the beauty of divine timing. It takes what's hidden and brings it into full view without you having to say a word. The same silence they mocked is the silence that shook them. It proved you were anchored, not afraid. It showed them you're guided, not confused. It reminded them that a chosen one doesn't fight battles with noise. They fight with presence, restraint, and alignment. They underestimated your silence because they never understood it. They thought it meant you were powerless, when in reality, it meant you were protected and already winning. Number 12, their attacks are not random. They are evidence of your rising rank. One of the most misunderstood truths about being a chosen one is that opposition is not a sign that you're failing. It's a sign that you're ascending. People who try to attack you don't see your spiritual promotion coming, but they sense it. They feel it in their envy, their fear, and the sudden urgency to interfere. The intensity of the attacks, the desperation, and the persistence are all signals that something in you is shifting, growing, and stepping into a higher level. Their attempts to stop you are, ironically, the clearest proof that your rank is increasing. Opposition always escalates just before elevation. People who want to undermine you are often the first to notice changes that you're only beginning to understand yourself. They sense the new authority, clarity, and influence that you're about to carry. And because they don't have the power to stop it, they lash out in frantic, irrational ways. Every betrayal, every gossip, every attempt to manipulate you is a response to energy they can't control. They're aware, even subconsciously, that your rise will directly impact them, which is why they fight so hard. But their fight is ultimately futile. This is where the beauty of your position lies. Their attacks, no matter how vicious or cunning, do not prevent your growth. They accelerate it. Each challenge forces you to adapt, strengthen, and refine your focus. Every attempt to sabotage your progress only sharpens your discernment and heightens your resilience. What they intended to harm you with becomes the very instrument that confirms your readiness for elevation. Their opposition is like a signal flare in the spiritual realm. It announces to heaven that you are ready for the next level, and the forces aligned with your protection respond accordingly. By the time they realize that their attacks did nothing but reveal their own desperation and confirm your rise, it's already too late. You've moved beyond the stage they were trying to trap you in. Their actions, which were meant to stop you, end up proving to the world that you are unstoppable. Opposition against a chosen one is never random. It is a reflection of the rank you're stepping into, and the higher the attacks, the higher the ascent. Number 13. They're playing with you because they don't know the version of you God is about to release. The people who come after a chosen one are constantly miscalculating, and the reason is simple. They haven't met the version of you that is coming. They think they're attacking the person they see today, the version they believe is vulnerable, predictable, and easy to manipulate. What they don't realize is that the person they're targeting is evolving on a level they cannot comprehend. Every trial, every betrayal, every attack you endure is quietly reshaping you into someone far stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your purpose. They are fighting yesterday's version of you, while tomorrow's you is already preparing for their failure. Their miscalculation is what makes them dangerous to themselves and harmless to you. They think the strategy that worked against someone else, or the pressure that broke others, will work on you. But your evolution isn't just about survival, it's about transformation. You are being molded into a version of yourself that no amount of manipulation, sabotage, or scheming can touch. Their ignorance of your growth is what ensures their own exposure. Every attack they make only triggers a process in you that strengthens your defenses, sharpens your clarity, and amplifies your spiritual authority. The frightening thing for them is that you are becoming untouchable in ways they cannot anticipate. Their fear, envy, and aggression push you into higher alignment without them even realizing it. Each attempt to break you instead prepares the ground for your breakthrough. They think they have power over your reality, but they are unwitting participants in the very process that will show the world who you truly are. By the time your new version is fully revealed, they will realize too late that they underestimated the power of divine preparation. They will be forced to witness a strength, wisdom, and influence they never imagined existed, and all their attacks will have merely served as the catalyst. Their games were aimed at controlling you, but they inadvertently highlighted your unstoppable ascent. You are no longer the person they thought they could play with, and once God's version of you is released, everything they attempted to manipulate will have no effect, and your purpose will shine above all their schemes. Number 14. They don't understand that you're the wrong person to betray. Some people think betrayal is just a momentary act. They think it's about anger, revenge, or taking advantage. But when someone tries to betray a chosen one, they're playing with a force they cannot measure. Betraying you isn't just crossing a personal boundary, it's stepping into a spiritual territory that has already been protected, monitored, and secured by powers far beyond human comprehension. The danger for them is not in what they've done to you. The danger is in what their actions activate against them. They assume betrayal is a small action with minimal consequences, but with a chosen one, it triggers events that cannot be undone. The truth is, you carry an alignment that responds differently than most. You forgive, you endure, you rise, but the universe doesn't forget. Every act of betrayal is registered, not just in your awareness, but in the spiritual framework around you. That betrayal is like pressing a button that sets processes in motion. Doors begin closing for the betrayer, trust evaporates around them, opportunities vanish, and situations they counted on to succeed start collapsing. Their own life begins to mirror the disruption they attempted to cause in yours. And the irony is, they never saw it coming. They thought they were the initiator, when in reality they became the victim of their own miscalculation. Betraying a chosen one also reveals the betrayer's deepest truths. Their fear, envy, and insecurity come to the surface in ways that no disguise can hide. Their intentions are exposed, their character is questioned, and their position in life becomes unstable. Every effort to harm you doubles as an exposure of who they really are, and it's rarely flattering. The most dangerous thing about betraying someone like you is that it underestimates divine timing. The consequences may not hit immediately, but when they do, they arrive with precision, stripping away every illusion of control they believed they had. Their betrayal becomes their undoing, and your survival becomes the evidence that some people were never meant to cross you. They learned too late that the wrong person was the one they tried to betray, and the results are irreversible. Every attack, every betrayal, every scheme, and every attempt to manipulate a chosen one carries consequences far beyond what the human eye can see. Those who try to harm you don't realize that they're not just targeting a person, they're challenging a divine design. Each moment they underestimate you, misread your calm, or mistake forgiveness for weakness, they unknowingly step into forces they cannot control. Every move they make against you only reveals their own fears, insecurities, and spiritual weaknesses, while simultaneously confirming your protection, your resilience, and your inevitable rise. What they see as obstacles or opportunities to break you are actually stepping stones that refine your purpose, accelerate your destiny, and showcase the power of alignment with divine will. Being a chosen one isn't about avoiding conflict or escaping the world's schemes. It's about navigating them with awareness, strength, and faith. It's about understanding that every betrayal, every plot, and every attempt to undermine you is a reflection of the person attacking, not of your value. Your life is protected by forces that measure, monitor, and respond with precision, ensuring that your path remains intact no matter how much others try to derail it. They may think they are in control, but the truth is, every attack only activates your protection, amplifies your growth, and confirms your destiny. The same people who try to harm you end up exposing themselves while you continue to rise, untouchable and aligned with the plan that only you were chosen to fulfill. So, remember this: their envy, their aggression, and their schemes are proof of your significance, not your vulnerability. Your calm, your patience, and your unwavering purpose are your weapons. The very people who seek to destroy you are unwittingly cementing your victory. Your story is unstoppable, your name carries weight, and your destiny cannot be altered by anyone who dares to cross you. If you found this message powerful and uplifting, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss content that strengthens and protects chosen ones like you. Like this video if it resonated, comment below to share your experiences or insights, and share it with anyone who needs to hear that their purpose is untouchable. Stand tall, stay aligned, and remember, you are protected, you are chosen, and nothing can stop your rise. God bless you.